Yes, I do believe that most men's beauty standards are rooted in pedophilia because I remember one time when I was being intimate with some guy that I knew, and he, when we first were intimate, he just kept saying certain things that I didn't catch them at first, but they started to kind of ring alarm bells in my head as the day went on or the time went on. Because this guy was like huge compared to me, right? Like I'm like 5'3", at the time I was like 130 pounds. This guy was like 6'4", 200 something pounds. So he like was looming over me, genuinely. And even when we weren't being intimate, like I had to like my phone fell like behind his bed and it fell on the floors and I was like, oh shit, my phone fell. And he was gonna go get it for me, but because he was so big, he had to get off the bed and like put his hand under the bed. But for me, because I'm obviously smaller, I just took my hand and just put it through like the crack and I grabbed it. And he was like, oh, you're so tiny. Of course you can get it, your little tiny hands. And I was kind of like, oh, haha, but I didn't really think much of it because again, the size difference was pretty like clear. We started becoming intimate and like he just would not stop commenting on how tiny I was compared to him. And it was kind of getting to a point where it was like, okay, I get it. Like I am like small compared to you, but why do you keep bringing that up? Be TMI, but like I just also like don't like hair down there. Like and that's not because of a beauty standard thing. I personally just don't like the way it feels. Like I never did even when I was younger. So I always kind of I used to shave, then I got waxed and everything. But again, that's not a beauty standard thing. I don't care. I don't give a fuck if you have a bush or not, because I've had a bush before and it didn't stop it from getting eaten. It's truly just a preference for me. And he also like when he saw that, it's just like the reaction he had to it was like, you are very happy that there's no hair down there. I didn't really notice it at first. And they were subtle, but they were like, you know when you just catch something, like even if it's a subtle reaction, it just it's ingrained in like what you remember for a reason, because that's usually your gut trying to tell you like, yeah, there's a reason why you noticed that reaction. After I left and like when like some time passed by and we kind of stopped talking anyway, I just looked back and I started thinking like, why was he so like, why was he, what was the big deal about that? And then it instantly clicked. I was like, oh, that was a big deal. He liked that I was much smaller than him and pretty much hairless down there because it was, yeah,